Ayappan Nair, Principal Ma'am Srimati Srikala J. Kumar, Vice Principal Ma'am Srimati Savita Subarna, and our resource person of the day, Mr. Rajesh Ticket. I also welcome Ms. Pallavi S. and V. Murthy from Macmillan Education. Dear children, may I now introduce our resource person, Mr. Rajesh, to you. Sir has been a director of one of Kerala's fastest growing HR consultancy, CEST. Sir has completed his education with degrees in BCom, MBA, MSc Psychology. His clientele includes leading corporate firms, professional colleges, schools, arts and science colleges, socio-cultural organizations, business organizations, and government institutions, which include the Kerala Police Public Academy and Kerala Government's Employability Centers in different districts. Sir has done over 3,000 full-fledged training programs, including around 600 career guidance sessions and 85 Train the Trainer programs for those who aspire to become trainers. His programs include live phone-in talk shows and interviews that have been broadcast by Doordarshan Malayalam, All India Radio, Club FM regularly, been providing personalized career mentoring using multiple intelligence test assessment for class 10 and 12 students. I now request our academic director, sir, to present the dignitaries with the bouquet and a shawl. Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Rajesh? Yes.
Jai Shri Gurudev. I just wanted to narrate an incident which happened 20 years back. When I was the principal of Kendriya Vidyalaya, Malaysia. Malaysia, you know, it is supposed to be one of the prestigious schools in India, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Malaysia. 20 years back. So happened, in the student of course, some or other way, he got admission to science stream in 11th standard. And his father was an executive in a nationalized bank. The father wanted this boy to be an engineer because for his brother children, they were also engineers. His colleagues' children, they were also doing engineering. So he was very adamant that this child, this boy, elder one, he has two boys, elder one should become an engineer. Now when you see his background, academic background, he is very weak in maths, but very good in English. The teacher used to come and tell me, sir, his English is very good. All the reports we are making him to write, wonderful English. But at the same time, maths teacher will come and say, sir, he is very weak, I am worried, he is in 11th, he is going to 12th standard, what will happen, we don't know, we are giving him some special coaching, everything. Some or other way, he cleared 12th standard. And you know, in that 12th standard examination, he scored English the highest mark, and also lowest mark he got in maths. But father was very adamant. He should become an engineer. And you know, those days, I think 20 years back I am talking about, he paid a lot of, money and he purchased a seat in an engineering college for him. I say purchased because he was not eligible also. And 2 years, even though the boy was not interested in engineering, he was forced to take it up, and 2 years, both the years, he miserably failed. He lost nearly about 2 years. Whereas his interest was in language. Ultimately, the father was forced to take the boy out and admitted him in a Christ college for journalism. And he did extremely well in journalism. That was what he wanted. He was interested in literature, he was interested in creative writing, and ultimately today he is one of the best print media and journalist. That's what. Always remember, children, you have your own talent, your own interest. Nobody should force you to take up a course which you don't like. Sometimes, as a father, which I could not achieve, I want to see that my children, they will achieve, whether they are interested or not. Today is an important day for you, my dear students, because today's session will be a life-changing session. And we have an expert in this area. He will be discussing with you what are the avenues you have, how you have to select your further course, because now when you are coming to already 11th standard children and 10th standard both are here. So it is, you should take it, everything you make a note of it, and see that after his speech is over, if you have any doubt, any clarification, he is always ready to give all clarification and this one. So I request all of you, make this opportunity, even though they had a practical examination. I told practical examination is not important, this is more important. Practical exam we will have some other day. I rescheduled it for this purpose. This is for your benefit. Your benefit. You are going to today, after this session, you are going to choose your further course, what you should do, what you should become in future. So with this, I also take an opportunity to welcome our expert here, and he is there. He will be, I have seen that he is an expert in all these areas. He will be explaining to you, make use of it. It will be a life-changing session for you. With this, once again, I request him to take over and enlighten our children what they have to do.
Crowd of eager listeners. Children, please give him a huge round of applause.
A lot of expectations are here given off to you, here given off to all the high school teachers. Now he used so many nice words about me. You thought it was nice. I didn't feel so. It was an indirect message saying, sir, we expect much more than what you offered yesterday. This is what ideally salespeople and marketing people do. They use all those good terminologies and others feel it is for motivation. It's their expectation which they are showing. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. Who are the class 11 students? Just raise your hands. Fine. You're sitting over here, you are happy today. Right? Not because you are attending my class, it's because you are able to abstain from your practical examinations today. How did you know that? Yes, I know that because my daughter is also studying in class 11, so I know the basic psychology of you people. 10th standard students, you are also happy. Why? 3 hours, no regular class. In the regular class, you might not be sitting adjacent to your buddies because since you are always talking with them, your teacher might have put you in 2 different places, but now you are sitting adjacent to your buddies. I know that. Right? You got an opportunity to spend 3 hours here. Fine, nice. Look, these things should happen. If these things are not happening, then there is something wrong with you people. Students should be naughty. They should be vibrant. Only then you will start exploring new avenues in the life also, whether it is professional or personal. Fine. Now, how many of you in class 11, I want an honest answer, feel that you have chosen the wrong stream and you want to change it for your graduation? Give an honest answer. Don't look here and there. Now, suppose you have chosen science, science is not my cup of tea. Suppose you have chosen arts, arts is not my cup of tea. Or commerce isn't my cup of tea, etc. Yes, you say. Don't be reluctant. I know your teacher is sitting behind you, so you are reluctant. The smiling faces reveal that. No issues. Look, I for one did that. My dad told I'll be a good doctor or an engineer. He put me into class 11. What you call your physics, chemistry, biology. In our times, in Kerala, it was pre-degree. We were in college. It was called second group. 2 years there, I found out that the CH3, CH2, COOH is something I couldn't digest. Sorry, chemistry teachers, but organic chemistry was not my cup of tea. So, I told my father. Fortunately for me, he was a very understanding person. I told him, I'll shift to commerce. I don't want these kind of things. He expected me to become a chartered accountant. And after become, I just thought, why not do MBA? So that's how MBA. MSc psychology is altogether a different story. It will take time. I had narrated to him. He will narrate one day. Fine. The only inspiration for my MSc psychology was Nirbhaya gang rape. That much I can tell you. Fine. And that story I had narrated to him. Come. Now, post 12, what to do? Some of you might have decided, and as far as class 10 is concerned, you are now thinking post 10, which is the apt stream for me. Sir told an example about when he was in Kendriya Vidyalaya as a principal. Now I will quote an example, it is not my example or my experience. I heard Mr. Shashi Tharoor speaking, addressing a group of students. Yeah, you know Mr. Shashi Tharoor? Yeah, an internationally renowned person. Leave alone the political part, otherwise he's an internationally renowned person. Now, we Indians have a habit of taking someone's personal life or political life and looking only into that. No, you remove both these things and look at Shashi Tharoor as a person. It is something which we envy. Like, we want to be like him. Like, the professional. I heard him speaking, and in that he was telling, after my class 10, I wanted to take arts. But my teachers were so adamant that I should pursue science because I had good marks in science. That's the issue. In the case when Sir, that particular incident, that boy had bad marks in mathematics. Here, it was not so. He also had good marks in science. His parents were convinced, fortunately for him, like me itself, parents were convinced, okay, you go and take what you want. But one particular open house PTA meeting, the teachers, every teacher surrounded his parent and told, this child is ignorant, he is only 15-year-old, he is not in the right state of mind, he doesn't know about the future, don't allow him to take arts, force him to take science, because that is what he is good in, look at the academics. And he was scoring 98, 100, 97, etc. He told no. Finally, one teacher asked, if you didn't like that particular subject, how are you able to score marks in science and mathematics? And that answer struck me. That is why I am quoting that example. Mr. Shashi Tharoor explained, he told the teacher, teacher, I do not like those subjects, but I know how to score marks. I know how to score marks. And standing over there, his second sentence was that, even today, I do not remember a single word of my chemistry, physics or mathematics, but I still remember Macbeth and Hamlet. Right? He is what he is today because he pursued a career wherein he had a liking, wherein he had an aptitude. He did not go for the monetary part. He did not go for the recognition part, unlike most of today's generation. Today, most of you opt for one particular career. I'm not telling all of you, most of you. For the achievements, for the recognitions, for the monetary benefits it's going to bring. Don't do that, my dear children. Money will come to you. If you pursue a career wherein you have got a liking, wherein you have got an aptitude, recognitions, achievements, money, everything will flow to you. You need not chase those things. But if you are going to chase those things, pursuing a career, pursuing a course which you do not like, believe me, 9 out of 10 times at the age of 37, 38, even if you are in that career, you will think of retirement. You are in Bangalore. I can honestly say, check out your IT companies. Almost 70% of the engineers who are working there are not computer science or IT engineers. They are from mechanical, electrical, civil, whatnot. Right? They took it only for the monetary part. And you know what's the first investment they make at the age of 23, 24? When we put our money in mutual funds, in FDs, in RDs, etc., they put their money in insurance scheme for pension plan. At the age of 42, I am going to retire. They had decided that they are going to retire at the age of 42. When at 48, I'll tell I am still vibrant. They are thinking of retirement at 40. Why? Because for them, that was a career which they were not passionate about. In your days, you will be speaking of Virat Kohli, etc. In my days, we were speaking of Sachin Tendulkar. Those people excelled because they pursued a career. Do you really think they are still playing for the money's part? No, it isn't money. They have set a benchmark and they want to cross their own benchmarks. That's what happens when you are passionate about a career. So I want you people to choose a career in which you are passionate about. Now there was one particular sentence which that man was talking about multiple intelligence tests, etc. For you people, I will tell you, you don't need a second person to guide you. I'll give you a tip for self-assessment. You can be a self-assistant yourself. Now most of the time, how do you or your teachers or your colleagues or your parents guide you? They look at your mark list and say, you have got 96 marks in this. You go for this particular stream. Sometimes it might be right, sometimes. I'm not saying always it will be wrong, sometimes it might be right. But at times, there is a probability that it's a wrong choice. How? I'll give you another example. Now, it's a hypothetical scenario. You are studying for 4 hours a day. After school, I told you it's a hypothetical. Some might be studying for 6 hours, some for 2 hours only. I know that. But it's a hypothetical scenario, you are studying for 4 hours a day. And you spend 2.5 hours studying one particular subject. Right? And you are scoring 96% marks. You study another subject for 15 to 16 minutes daily. You still end up scoring 17 and 81% marks. Your mark list will not reflect this part. It will only reflect the mark. Imagine if you had studied for 30 minutes that particular subject, there is a probability that you would have scored 98, 99 or 100% in that subject. There is a probability. Statistically speaking. Right? Will your mark list show this? It will never reflect this. So when you get your mark list, I want you to do a study, a comparative study, a ratio analysis. Mark score versus time spent to study that subject. It's an average. You can't say daily I study 50 minutes, I don't recollect, and so it can happen. On an average, you just take it up. If you have spent only a small amount of time studying that particular subject and still ended up scoring 80-82% marks, believe me, my dear children, that might be the subject in which you have got a passion, which is apt for you. Right? That is one thing. Second thing I'll tell you. In our times, yes, it's a fact that arts had only limited options as far as career is concerned. Apart from teaching, it had only limited options, some sort of journalism or something like only limited. Today it isn't so. Any stream you take, you have got n number of options available for you, for courses as well as career-wise. So don't hesitate to pursue a course in which you have got a liking. If you can substantiate your claims with certain, as Mr. Shashi Tharoor said, some sort of those kind of statements or proofs, then 99% of your parents will be convinced. Sure. And when you got such a person sitting over here, even those parents who are so adamant, you can just bring him into his forefront. You also come and you can talk. I want to study this, sir. My father is pursuing this. Such an experienced person, he might be able to guide those parents also. Clear? I don't want any of the children sitting over here to repent that they had chosen a career in which they don't have a passion. And at 40, if you are thinking of retirement, physically you might be at 40, but mentally you are in the age of 58, 60. Imagine how it is going to affect your physical aspects also. It will affect. Clear? And with that, we'll start the session. Now, what are the options before you? 10th standard. You've got 4 options before you. You can go for physics, chemistry, biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, arts, commerce. Right? Isn't it? If you expected me to stand over here and deliver a lecture for 3 hours, you're mistaken. No classes, no advices, because these are the 2 things you hate, I know that. At your age, right? As I told you, you are sitting over here happily because you are missing your regular classes. And advices you hate because it comes free of cost. From your parents every day. From your teachers most of the days. Maybe Sunday is a holiday. Right? Your relatives, your friends, your father's friends who visit you, they come and tell you, my daughter is studying for this. And that again is a problem for you. Right? And who don't advise you? It's the buddies who are sitting adjacent to you and you are enjoying their company. Right? Fine. So no advices, no sessions. We'll just have a discussion. So what are the 4 options before you? I told you these 4 are the options. We'll start with commerce. Plus 1 commerce students, who are the students? Ah, yes. I will ask them a question. Commerce boys saying? Only girls? Ah, 1 boys. 2. Raise your hand like this. Ah, that's it. Fine. Now, what are the professional courses available before you after your question? Professional courses. Don't tell me BCom. BCom is not a professional course. CA? CS? That's it?
ACCA.
Who told that? ACCA. Ah, fine. Then? Over. Law, anybody can pursue. It need not be commerce. A humanities person, arts person can pursue, and even a science person, if he wants, that person can also. CLAT needs to be written, that's it. Oh, fine. Just get up. You. One who answered. Get up. What's your name? Arshada. A hand for her. Thank you. Fine. CA, CS, and there's one more program, it's CMA. Right? And my son, ACCA is not a professional program. Unfortunately, it has been sold in India. He used the word purchased for that sake. I am saying it is being sold. ACCA has been sold in India by the universities in such a way that we feel it is a professional program. They sell it DCOM with ACCA package. You buy 2 kgs of syrup and 1 kg of sugar comes free, something like that. Right? ACCA is just a certification program. It is not a professional program. Yes, it is recognized in UK and certain other European nations as a good course for accounting related law. Nothing more than that. It is not a professional program. Professional programs, you have got only 3. There is 4. 4th we will discuss later, that's MBA. Because MBA is universal, not only for commerce. Everybody can go for MBA. So we are not going to discuss that. So you have got CA, CMA, CS. Again, in almost all schools where I go, In all crowds where I ask the same question, the first brand comes is CA. It is never a CS or a CMA. It's C. Right? Why not CS? So we'll start with CS. Let's deviate from the conventional method. We'll start with CS. Now, why no CS? Why no CS? I will give you another example. Just check it out. Wherever you are staying, just check out a 5-kilometer radius around your house. You might find 2, 3, 4 CAs, but you will rarely find one CS. And when something is so hard to find, people don't talk about it. Right? You won't be talking about going to the moon because you know it isn't that easy. You'll be thinking, oh, if I tell you going for a movie at the multiplex, everybody will be talking because it's easy for you. Right? Yes. So CS is one thing I want you people to give a serious thought. Yes, provided commerce, you have a liking more for the law and all those aspects and less for accountancy. If it's less for accountancy and more for the other aspects, I think CS is. I will only suggest. I'm just giving you a basket full of products. I will not say this is good for you. You have to decide. Clear? Decisions will not be mine. It will be yours. So CS might be a good option for you. And why CS? Now you are in +1. You are learning about stock exchanges, etc. No? Okay. You all know what is a stock exchange? Yes. You are seeing companies listed there. I'll give you one particular example why CS is very important. Now, to get a company listed in any of the stock exchanges in India, one basic criteria is that the company should have at least one company secretary on the permanent roles of the company, not hired, permanent roles, not contract. And a CS permanent role monthly salary is not in thousands. That much I can tell you. It is not in thousands. How many lakhs? It depends. Monthly salary. Right? And as I told you earlier, do not go for the money part. Only if you have got a liking, you go. I just mentioned you certain aspects. Now, take another example. I am not employed with that company. I am a CS. I still get good amount of earnings. How? Any company which is registered under the Companies Act of India, as a company, when they have to file certain documents with the registrar of the company, just like how income tax returns need to be filed, and for that an authorized CA's signature is essential. Similarly here, a qualified CS signature is essential. So they will be charging a fee from those things. Right? So CS, this is the scope. Now CA and CMA. How many of you? Yeah, I'll give you opportunity to ask queries later. Just note it down. Yeah? I'll give you opportunities. Whatever queries you have, just note it down. We can talk. Now CA, CMA. Now if you're going to tell your parents you're going for CA, they will tell, fine, go. You tell them you're going for CMA, many of them, I'm not saying all of them, many of them will say, don't go for that. It is not, I haven't heard of that, etc. You just tell them that it is the same program which in your days was known as ICWA. In those days it was known as cost accountancy, CWA. Today it has been transformed into CMA to give it a management title. That's it. Subject is all the same. The package has been different. Whatever is inside is the same. Right? So that's CMA for you. They will be convinced. Now, what is the difference between a CA and a CMA? This is one question you should ask yourself before pursuing CA or CMA. What is the job difference like? In smaller companies, there is no difference. A CA does all the job of a CMA or the CMA does all the job of a CA. But when you talk of big corporate companies, there will be CAs as well as CMAs. A CA looks after the accounting, auditing department. A CMA looks after the finance department. Those two are different. Now, what is the difference? The finance department looks after costing, budgeting, etc. That is, what is happening before the money flows into the company. You understand? Costing, pricing, budgeting, etc. This is pre-planning. And what does the CA do? He looks after those aspects
wherein after the money has flown into the company, like accounting, where it has come, expense, income, etc., balance sheet, he looks after the auditing. Now everything is correct or not, a rechecking. Auditing means a rechecking, that's it. Clear? So these two are entirely different. You should understand this difference before opting for one of them. A CA after it has come, CMA before. The only distinct advantage for a CMA as in January 2023, and still now I can say one distinct advantage is that is for filing income tax returns, a CA is authorized, not a CA. But I can't say the same thing will happen after April or 24 or 25, 2025. This might change. Suppose the government decides to recognize CMA also as the same as CA, this can also change. So as of today, the only distinct advantage a CA has over a CMA is regarding the returns filing with the tax department. That advantage CA has got. Clear? So that's CA, CMA and CS for you. And how to pursue? You have the conventional method, that is the method when we were studying. That is you finish your graduation and then go for the inter and final. And you have the present method wherein you can start with your foundation program, foundation, inter, final. Now when you are pursuing foundation program, I request you students to do one thing. Enroll for a graduation program or probability BCom. For CMA, CS, in all probability BCom is the best. Why? Because I don't want you people at the age of 20 still pursuing CA, CMA, CS with a basic qualification of a plus 2. Many students are like that. They think they will pass through this. They might, I am not saying they are not, they might not. But even at the age of 20, 21, if you had not completed that, what is your basic qualification? It is plus 2. So to avoid that, enroll for BCom also, so that at the age of 20, you might be having at least a BCom certification in your hand. It's enough to pursue a job as a graduate. Clear? Because looking back, you might feel disheartened, 22, 23, still plus 2. I have not completed this also. That will put additional stress on you. And I don't want that to happen. Clear? So if you're doing via foundation course, think of this option. Right? MBA. I'll talk to a few people also. For you people. Engineering, all those aspects, MBA, we'll talk later. As far as a commerce student is concerned, if he or she wishes to go for MBA, there are two routes. One, either go for BCom, MBA, or you can go for BBA, BBM or something like this and then go for MBA. So which is ideal for you? That is for you to decide. During your plus 2 times, if you find accountancy is very tough for you, is not what you thought of, you don't want to study that, do not go for BCom. Because in your plus 2 time, accountancy is just one among the different subjects you are studying. For BCom, it is a core subject. It's a main subject. So for you, the ideal path is BBA, BBM, or in Maharashtra there is a similar program which is BMS, Bachelor's in Management Studies. Whether it is Bachelor of Business Administration or Business Management or Management Studies, all are the same. Certain universities name it differently, that's it. The modules are, most of them are same. Clear? So if accountancy is weak for you, take the BBA, BBM, MBA route, because here accountancy is only one of the subjects. If your accountancy is good, if you are strong in that, take the BCom route and go for MBA Finance or something like that, because you can study accountancy as a core subject. Clear? All the other certification programs like ACCA, Certified Financial Planner, Certified Management Associate, several like so many programs are there which several universities give along with the BCom. I am not belittling them, but they are only certification programs. They are not professional programs. And regarding CMA, there is also one doubt which needs to be clarified, whether CMA India or CMA US is better. on any day I will go for CMA India. Because you just Google and find out CMA US, one basic criteria which they tell, which their partners in India won't tell is that you should be a graduate. It is very clearly written there. Right? So that is so think about that. And why the Indian partners don't tell? Because they give you CMA along with BCom and they understand you will be passing your BCom. Right? So they don't tell you, but they will make you pass your graduation. So that is one more thing for you. CA, CMA, CS, EMT. Clear? Fine. Now, BCom, etc. will be discussing later. Arts, who are the people? Last one. Raise your hand. Let me see. Now, nobody is raising. Only two. No boys? Lucky person. Fine. Okay. Now, arts. Let me see. Who are the two people? No, I saw a hand there. Nobody had hand there? Okay. 10th standard, who is thinking of taking? Now I know nobody will be thinking of. To avoid these questions. Fine. Now, which is a core subject in
history, political science, psychology, economics, and
English? Fine. History, political science, psychology, economics. Psychology, I wouldn't say is a core subject, but yes.
the optional subject.
Yeah, optional subject. That's it. I know. I always presume +1, arts subject. Right. So psychology, optional subject. Now, one of the subjects which has been very much underrated in India is economics. It is very much underrated here. Right? A person is studying in a college, you ask, what is he doing? He is studying for basic physics. And what is that building? BA economics. In the tone itself, there is a belittling of that BA economics. Right? Why? Because in almost all universities, I'm not saying all the universities, in most of the universities, economics is being taught as an arts subject. If you ask me, it is not arts. What is economics known as? The definition, it's a science subject. Right? Regarding study of wealth, etc. Isn't it? It's basically a science. But unfortunately in India, many universities, many colleges still teach economics as an arts subject. And that is the reason why we don't know anything about economics. Whereas it is very important for us to understand, if one of you become a renowned economist, and if luck favors that girl, in future we might see a currency note which is undersigned by the economist who is the RBI governor. That is the level to which an economist can rise. You should understand this. Unfortunately, we don't realize this. It's not your fault. Once NEP 2020 gets implemented fully at college level, all these things will change. Clear? Everything will change. But as of now, it is like that. So I want you people to understand, economics is a good subject to pursue. In fact, I will consider that as a professional program if you are studying it with mathematics as a subject, optional subject, not psychology. Right? Because when you take mathematics, you can study economics in any of the central universities or the good university colleges and the Delhi University, etc., wherein it is being taught as a science. It's BA only, BA honors only, but the analytical part is being taught. And for that, you need to study mathematics. Not only to study, because in those universities, central universities, okay, I'll ask you something else. What is QET, CUET? Central University? Who told that? Get up. Get up. What's your name? Bhargav. A hand for him. Thank you, Bhargav. Central University's entrance test. That's QET. What's DUET?
Central University.
What's DUET? It's Delhi University entrance test. It's not the other one. That's for PG, right? We'll take it. We'll talk about that later. Now, why I talk of QET is that if you want to pursue certain subject in one of the best universities available in the country, believe me, it is the Central University. Those colleges which are coming under the Central University. Unfortunately, our media focuses on the certain ills or rather bad things which are happening in these Central Universities. We Indians have a mindset where we focus only on the bad things. You join an institution, 90% of the things are good, and you still complain, sir, that thing is not perfect. That fan is not working in my school. Your focus is on that, only on that regulator which isn't working when you don't see any of the good things that are there. Similarly, at Central Universities also, our media focuses on the ills of these Central Universities. And which are the Central Universities? It's a JNU, it's your Benares Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, all these things. Clear? Around 20,000 students study there. Do you think all those students are fools? Or the parents are fools? Right? They are the most clever students who have planned their career to study in the best institutes available in the country. And what do they offer? They offer the best infrastructure available. They offer the best faculties available. If you ask me, much better than some of the faculties at the rate the international universities abroad. Better than them. Clear? And all this are the most affordable fees. The kind of scholarships they provide, it is unheard of. And to get entry there, you need to pass Central University entrance test. And in certain colleges like Miranda House in Delhi, it's for girls only. There, to get admitted into the hostel, you need to be among the top rankers because for each stream, only 3 people are provided hostel facilities. Only 3. And you need to be the top 3 to get it. Why? Because 24 hours Wi-Fi, only 3 persons. You don't have a dormitory style of thing. It's like a tour package thing. 1 room, only 3 girls, separate court, separate table, everything is available. But each stream, only 3 people will get hostel. Others need to stay outside. Right? These are some of the prestigious colleges available. Clear? So QET is the exam to appear, and for QET, you need to be good in mathematics. Test of numerical ability. It is not only for economics, for any stream. Political science, history, science, whatever, music, whatever. And how many of you read English newspapers? Enough. Now I don't want others to follow. For these kids, there is a problem. They can't turn back and see who is raising the hand. But for them it's failure. Who is father of, who is Charles Darwin? Father of evolution. No. Charles Darwin, not Charles Babbage. Charles Darwin, father of evolution. Modern day, okay, fine. And what is evolution state? Who are our forefathers? Apes. She told apes correctly. Somebody told monkey, I don't know yours. Right? It's apes, children, but we say monkeys because it is easy for us to understand. And what do apes do? Apes imitate others. And when I see children sitting behind, raising their hands, looking at the child sitting in front of them, what should I understand? Imitating. And I should also empathetically say that evolution theory was true then, it stands true in January 2023 also. You too, not me. Right? So you can clap for yourself, you empathetically prove that it is correct. You can clap for yourself. Reluctant to clap. Fine, thank you. I love that attitude. Yeah, good. Right? Start reading English newspapers because any entrance test you are going to take, there will be current affairs part, and current affairs you will be seeing only in the English newspapers. Clear? They will not be asking who discovered television, who discovered radio, and you will be like right? I don't know the name, or television jailbird, or telephone bell, etc. Nothing like that. Those things you get only in your question. For this entrance exam, it will be current affairs. Clear? So you need to start reading your English newspapers. Do it. Now, why this entrance test? I'll tell you one more reason. You all should understand. 10th standard students, be more attentive because it is for you all the more important. 2 years back, 2 professors from Delhi University tweeted they tweeted, well, I'm ashamed to say that it's pertaining to students from Kerala, where they follow Kerala state syllabus, not CBSE or ICSE, but I need to face it. They tweeted that there are several students coming from Kerala state who score high marks in the state syllabus +1, +2, and who get admitted to some of the colleges under Delhi University based on the +2 marks, but unfortunately they are not able to follow simple English lectures. They tweeted 2 years back. Well, we have a small group wherein we discuss all these things. It was obvious something big was coming in the next 1 or 2 years, and it came last year. From last year onwards, more universities under Delhi University, more colleges have decided that they will be taking admission purely based on entrance test committed for graduation, not on the basis of your +2 marks. Clear? And the thing is, it is a trend which has started. It might roll all the way down to Andhra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, wherein more and more colleges and universities here will also follow the same thing. So there will be entrance exam not only for your medical, that's not only for science students, there will be entrance exam for arts and commerce students also. If you need to get admitted into good universities, be prepared for that. Right? It's easy, it's all MCQ only, English, numerical ability, current affairs, logical reasoning. That's it. Clear? That's it. And specifically something like CLAT or etc., you need to focus on something like law, etc. We'll be discussing that later. Right? So this is something all of you should understand. QET is going to be the benchmark because some universities have told they are not going to conduct their own entrance exam. They will be taking admission based on the QET rank list. So that will also happen. So be prepared for that. Clear? So that's clear for you. Now, science students, who are the science students? So many, very good. So many victims for right. Now, who are the physics, chemistry? You studied everything, physics, botany, and biology, and maths together? Computer and biology. Separate. Yeah. So, who are the maths and computer people? And who are the biology people? We'll start with the biology people, more from this side. Who are from here? Just raise your hand, let me see. One? Only one? Fine. Okay. Now, what are the professional programs available for you? What are the professional programs? Tell me, don't tell me BSc botany. It is not a professional program. Professional programs available for you. MBBS, okay. Then BDS, okay. Tech will wait. Tech, some part of maths is also there, so tech will wait. MBBS, BDS, then R&D for any subject. It need not be biology center alone. Only MBBS and BDS. Huh? Pharmacy, yes, yeah, good. Then professional programs, professional courses. Over? Oh, that's pertaining to MBBS only, after MBBS. Wait, that's specialization.
Veterinary science.
Who told that? Thank you. Veterinary science, good. Now I will give opportunities to the 10th standard students, and if they come out with something new, you should feel ashamed of yourself. That has already been mentioned. Anything else? 10 students. Huh? Who was that? B and Y. Yes, fine, good. Then, who told that? Paramedical? MD is after MBBS. Okay, who told paramedical? Good, paramedical, that's it. Then? Nursing, good. Nursing. Technology, we'll wait. We'll talk of that later. We will wait. No. You missed out one thing. When you mentioned veterinary science, you should have talked of parallelly agriculture also. Right? Okay. No issues. No issues. Anyway, at least 6 to 7, you can feel proud of yourself. Clap for yourself. Yeah? Good. 7 to 8. It's good. Right? Clapping for yourself, you are elected? My goodness. I don't ask you to clap for me. Good. Okay, now we'll start with one by one. We'll start with medicine. This is the first option. How many of you are thinking of going for MBBS? I'm not saying how many of you will get through. I'm asking how many of you want to get through. MBBS. Good. How many years you are willing to put in after plus 2? After plus 2, how many years you are willing to put in? 7. Then, you people. Wait, plus some students. 10. Oh, who told them? Who is that? 10. Okay. Anybody lesser? It's like an auction. Okay, fine. Look, I agree with her. Any person who intends to go to MBBS post plus 2, be ready to study for another 8 to 10 years. Be ready to study for 8 to 10 years. I'm not saying you will be failing in MBBS. Don't mistake me. MBBS is still the same, 4.5 years. It has not increased to 7 or 8 years. But the problem is that with a mere MBBS degree, you are not going to reach anywhere. You will end up either in the casualty of a hospital as doctor, what they call RMOs, resident medical doctor, medical officer. And in most of the hospitals, I don't know in Karnataka, in Kerala, in most of the leading hospitals, RMOs, it is a daily wages job, wherein it is paid on a monthly basis. 20 days years worth, take this. And in those hospitals, the operation theatre nurses, the casualty senior nurses earn more than these doctors. It's a fact. You need to understand it. So mere MBBS, if you really want to get a job, the only option before you is to get into the government department. Then, no issues. You get a decent salary. Whether it's in the central government's Ayush ministries, under Ayush ministry, or the state government's government hospitals, or the primary health centers, or whatever. Clear? For MBBS, that is the only good option available. Now, if you are thinking, sir, no, sir, I am going to put a clinic in my place, where I will keep my name, MBBS is my qualification, I am going to sit there, I will suggest you people to buy a bat for hitting mosquitoes and flies because you will be having enough spare time. Why? I will give you the reason also. Which was the doctor to whom your parents took you when you got ill? Not actually. Who was the doctor? Who was the doctor? Pediatrician, exactly. You had some sort of itching. Who was the doctor who your parents took to? Dermatologist. You had a broken arm or something like that. Who was the doctor? Orthopedician, right? It was your parents who decided who the doctor should be. It was not a GP who decided. Right? In my parents' time, it was different. For each ailment, they go to a local GP, but that was we call general practitioner, MBBS person. They go there. And in those cases wherein he cannot solve, he cannot cure, he refers to a hospital. And only then those people will be seeing a gynecologist or a dermatologist or a physician or something like that. Otherwise, everything got handled at the local level. Today's times, nobody takes their kids to a GP. Now imagine 2018, 19, 17, 16, when nobody took, what is going to happen in 2014? Nobody will go. I'll give you an example. I quoted that yesterday also. You said orthopedician. In Mumbai, there are certain orthopedicians who will not see anything which is below this. They will be only seeing the fingers part and the toes part. Wrist, no. Ankle, no. Elbow, no. Only the fingers part. Super specialization has reached that level now. Understand? So MBBS alone will not be enough. I'm not saying don't go for MBBS, but be prepared to go for PG also. Sir, 4.5 years MBBS and 2 years PG, still 6.5 years is enough. Why did you say 8 to 10 years? The problem is that the statistics show that 90% of the time students don't get enrolled for PG in the first attempt. So you need to attempt second time, third time, fourth time, and each attempt is 1 year after. So that is why I told you, 4.5 years MBBS, you still need to work for 1, 2, 3 years, wherein you will be 6.5, 7 years after, you will be getting enrolled for PG, that is 2 years time. Clear? And I'll give you another statistics, not to frighten you, but to prepare you mentally. MBBS total, how many seats are there in India? If it is 20,000, I would say don't write. Look, it is 90 plus, 90,000 plus. Out of that, around 47,000, 46 to 47, may vary each year. Merit seat. Others are not merit seat. Clear? Now understand, 90,000 MBBS seats. And when it comes to PG, you know how many seats? It's around 13,000, 1-3, not 3-0. And in that around somewhere around 5,000, 5,200 merit seat. And if you think your father's bank account is pretty big, or his pocket is pretty large, I'll tell you something else also. If MBBS seats costs in lakhs, PG is in crores. And when you think of super specialization, it is multiple crores. Super specialization is your DM endocrinology, DM cardiology, nephrology, etc. Right? That's after you MD or MS. Clear? So that's it. So this is PG. And I'll give you one more aspect also. PG alone is not there is diploma program also. Both are equally good. And what is the PG and the PG diploma program? Your pediatrician, what is his qualification or her qualification? MBBS MD, exactly. Who told that? Thank you. MBBS MD. So one PG qualification is MD. You have got MD pediatrics, MD gynecology, MD dermatology, etc. Another is MS. You have got MS ortho, MS ENT, etc. Clear? This is the PG program. Now there are another set of qualified specialists. They have chosen the other path because they did not get PG, they have chosen the diploma part, PG diploma part. And in such a scenario, the pediatrician is not an MD pediatrics, he is a DCH. A gynecologist is not an MD gynecologist, he is a DGO. An ENT is not an MD ENT, he is a DLO. Clear? You know the difference? So this is the two difference. The 13,000 seats around I mentioned is combined of all this. Right? Yes, you do have another alternative which I am not going to mention now because I don't want people taking shortcuts. There's something called dip and we'll talk of that later. No, I'm not going to discuss that also. We'll leave it. Okay, so that's EMBBS for you. Now what are other medical options available? BIMS, who told that? Thank you. BA, clap for her. 10th standard? Yeah. Then get up. What's your name? Shreya. A clap for, big one. You people left out. Right? BIMS, somebody told BNYS, There is something called BHMS and there is something called BUMS. These are the 5 treatment modalities recognized by our Ayush Ministry. 5 treatment modalities. In that, BLYS and BUMS are not that much popular nowadays. It might gain popularity in future, I don't know. Future is unpredictable, we can't predict. Nobody predicted COVID. Clear? So we don't know. BLYS is naturopathic and yogic science and BUMS is Unani medicine. So these 2 are not much popular nowadays, so we are not going to discuss that. The other 2 parts we need to discuss, that is BAMS and BHMS, that is Ayurveda and homeopathy. Those 2 are also growing. And that is one aspect. Earlier I thought I am ashamed of one aspect of Kerala. This is one aspect I can be proud of because Ayurveda has grown tremendously in Kerala to an extent even international figures. I repeat, international figure. The present coach of French football team was in Thrissur at Siddharam Ayurveda. Present coach of French football team. He had mentioned that in his speech or FP page also. So Ayurveda has grown tremendously. But the thing is, you should understand, for Ayurveda and Homeo, if you are interested, you need not go for PG also if you are not into teaching profession. If you are into practice, a bachelor's degree alone is enough. But the problem is that either you need to enter the government service or you need to cut your own path. You have seen certain Homeo Ayurveda, they are specialized in arthritis, hair fall, eye-related problem, psoriasis, etc. If you can cut out such a path, those 2 professions are good. Otherwise, you will be one amongst the several Ayurvedic and Homeo doctors available in the country. It's hard to succeed. So you need to cut a path for yourself. Ayurveda, Homeo, if you don't get into government service. Clear? So that's Ayurveda and Homeo for you. Now somebody told of pharmacy. Who was a girl who told pharmacy? Yes. Now pharmacy, what are the programs available? What are the programs available for pharmacy? It is a course to pursue. B Farm, then? Who told that? Don't be frightened, who told that? Ah. Teacher. Fine, Farm B, then? Okay. Look, there's a path called B Farm, M Farm. That is, you finish your bachelor's and you can go for PG. There is another one called D Farm, which I am not going to talk because it's a diploma program. We are not going to talk of diploma programs here. I don't want you people to think low. It should be big. Clear? So only graduation minimum. So you have got either a B Farm or, as she told, Farm D. Now what is the difference? You should understand this. Whenever you pursue a career, a course, you should understand why you are studying that. What is the USP or unique selling point, as they say in marketing terms? What is the USP in that? Clear? Farm D, you study for 6 years plus. And 6 years plus means a few more lakhs more as fee. B Farm, you study only for 4 years. So which is better, sir? It's up to you, not me. If your intention is to practice as a pharmacist in India, in UAE, in Singapore, Malaysia, or any of the Asian regions or Southeast Asian countries, don't go for Farm D, go for B Farm alone, which is economical and less time consuming. Clear? Because here, a B Farm graduate is enough to don the role of a pharmacist. What does a pharmacist do? You see a doctor, the doctor prescribes, the pharmacist dispenses or gives you medicine. In olden times, many of the pharmacies were known as dispensaries, not even as pharmacy or medical. Sir might remember it in those times. Right? Because they dispense medicine, that's it. It's known as dispensary. Okay. So a pharmacist will never ever prescribe, right? Or he should never ever prescribe, although some of them give When you go and tell, I have a headache, they give some medicine, they are not supposed to do that. They don't prescribe, they give you. And believe me, when they give you that, they will not give you a bill. Because they are not supposed to do that. Legally, there will be a problem if they give a bill. Clear? But if your intention is to fly to US, Canada, or any of the European nations wherein you wanted to practice as a pharmacist, then B.Pharm will not be enough. They don't take B.Pharm people as pharmacists. For them, Pharm D is necessary. Why? In US, you meet a doctor, the doctor checks so many things. He finds out that you have got one particular ailment which is a gram-positive bacteria or a gram-negative bacteria or something like that. He will note all that down. He will talk to you. In US, it is unlike Indian doctors, they spend more time counseling and less on treatment. They talk to you on several aspects. They hardly see 10 to 12 patients in one full day. Whereas here it is 50, 70, 100, 120. There is quality of treatment. Right? They talk to you, they talk to the bystander. The treatment is like that. Okay. So they find out all this, they note it down, the prescription goes to the pharmacist. If it is in a hospital, it's via mail. If it's otherwise, you collect it, the hard copy, you show the pharmacist the prescription. It is a pharmacist who decides whether it's a cephalosporin to be prescribed or a quinolone to be prescribed or any of the penicillin derivatives to be prescribed or whatever. The pharmacist decides. And that is why a B.Pharm will not be enough. They need a Pharm D because Pharm D means you are a doctor in that. You can add the word DR in front of you as prefix. Clear? They need a doctor. And that is why they are allowed to prescribe. So in countries like US, you need to go for Pharm D. Now it is up to you to decide, plan ahead and then go for the course. Otherwise, you will be wasting time and money of your parents. Let that remain there will be a savings for you in future. Clear? Instead of spending more. Clear? Fine. So that's Pharm D. Yes, in India, sir, Pharm D no scope. I wouldn't say that. India, Pharm D has got scope. If you are thinking of research, R&D related aspects, if you are thinking of teaching aspect, then Pharm D has got a role. Right? So you plan what you want to be and then take the course accordingly. But what is the conventional part? You study a course and then go for a job. Don't do that. Decide the job. Understand your passion and then take a course which is taking you there. That is the right way to go. Clear? So then decide. Veterinary science. Who told veterinary science? Somebody from this side. Yeah. What's your name, boy?
Punya.
Punya. Thank you. A hand for him. Why? Because if you ask me, standing over here today, sir, which is the ideal two courses you would recommend? I would say one is BVSC, which is veterinary science, and another is BSc Agri. Because these are the two options wherein the probability of you getting a government job is above 90%. And what is the reason, sir? Particularly for veterinary? I am not against any of the self-financing colleges. But the fact remains that veterinary science, there is only one recognized self-financing college in the country, and that's in Rajasthan. In almost all the places, it is a government. And due to that, each year, the number of students passing out and the vacancies coming up is more or less the same. So most of the time, you just need to write the eligibility test of the government. It's easy. In Kerala, I can say there are several people who don't opt for that nowadays. In spite of there being several vacancies, people are not taking. They are more happy starting their own clinics, their own hospitals, wherein everything, right from the grooming of the pet, right from grooming till even the surgery part is taken care of. And the pay is excellent, the price they charge is excellent. How many of you got pets? We were discussing in the morning, myself and Aipul sir. How many of you got pets? You don't have pets? Why got pets? Fine. Dogs? Ah. Right? More than 2 dogs? Ah, man has got. Ah, right. Thank you. Look, now you know what's the cost of a dog food? If it's NND or DBAC, it's 600, 700, 800, 900 per kg, you spend on that. You go to the mandi, you look at the carrot, it's 120, no carrot today. You go to the pet shop, it's 900 rupees per kg, no issues, take 3. Right? You do that. I'm just talking to you. In Kerala, there is one particular doctor, I don't want to name him. Yesterday, unfortunately, I named him. He charges around 3,500 for Doberman ear cropping. Doberman tail docking, another 3,500 to 4,000 rupees. Imagine on a day how many tail docked. There are hospitals, if it is in Kerala, I know there will be hospitals in Bangalore also, where they have got ambulances. They will send you the ambulance, they will pick your pet, they will take there, they will treat you. Yes, every day they will be WhatsApping you the bills and you are supposed to Google Pay. That's the only thing you need to know, bystanders also. And that is the reason why more and more veterinary doctors are starting their own pet clinics. It's a good job, provided you have got a liking for animals. Don't go for the money part. If you don't like animals, you can't touch animals, you are frightened of animals, don't take it. What good is a doctor who just observes and says, this is good. Right? You can't do that. Clear? So that's veterinary science for you. Yes, if you intend to get into teaching profession, then you need to be MBSc also, PG also. Otherwise, this alone is enough. And one more suggestion I give you to all those people who are interested in veterinary science. The possibility of an MBBS, MD person going abroad is much less as compared to a veterinary doctor from India. It's much more. The scope is much more. You could even land in Switzerland where the dairy industry is that. Clear? Your dream country maybe in some cases. I know many of these kids, their dream country is South Korea. BTS. I know that. I told you, my daughter is crazy about that. The first day she told me that, sir, when you are going to Bangalore, get the BTS, the latest album. I told no, it's around somewhere 3,000, 4,000. You don't listen to that. You listen via your this thing, USB. Right, listen, come back. So that's veterinary science. Agri. Somebody told agri. Nobody told. I told. Right. Now agri, there are mainly, don't think it is only agri alone. There are 3 courses at the agriculture universities. 3 main courses. One is BSc Agriculture, one is BSc Horticulture, one is BSc Sericulture. There are other allied courses also, something related to fisheries, etc., etc. That we are not going to discuss. These are the 3 main courses as recognized by ICAR. And what is ICAR? Yeah, get up. You are correct.
International Council of Agriculture.
International?
Indian Council of Agriculture.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Barinam.
A small clap, not big one. Slight mistake. Good. Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So ICAR recognizes these 3 as the main courses. Right? And agri also, you get enough opportunities in the government sector. I'll tell you why. If 30 years back, each of the state had an agriculture department, today it isn't so. Under the agriculture department, you have one for seed authority, for pineapple, for rubber, for spices, even in spices, cardamom specific, etc., etc. And in almost all these departments, you need specialized agricultural graduates. So number of vacancies are increasing year after year. Our past Prime Minister, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, had told, if India needs to grow, it has to be from the rural areas agriculture sector. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. It's true even today. And that is why we see all these modern technologies being implemented into the agriculture sector. Clear? And it will continue in the future also. So agri is a nice program for you people. Yes, as I told with veterinary, they should have a liking for animals. You should be willing to put your hand in the mud. You should be willing to carry cow dung in your hand. Or even the excreta of hen or goat, etc. These are manual, natural manual, right? If you are reluctant, no. You should be willing to put your hand and feet in mud. If you've got a passion for that, agri is a nice option. Yes, now there are several agriculture specialists who are earlier, when startups started, when venture capital, angel funding started, it was only the IT people who took it. Now, no. Several IT people itself, they have left their jobs and they are into agri. Startups are encouraging. Good amount of money is being pumped. So that is also one more avenue which you can think of. Clear? And I'll give you one more thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't discuss this aspect yesterday. Just now I recollected for agri. How many of you have seen the ads of the nationalized banks calling for probationary officers? I know you might not have seen. Yeah, you have seen. Earlier it was 1,300 vacancy, 1,400 vacancy, that's it. I'm talking of nationalized banks. Now it isn't so. Next time when an ad comes, check it out. They will specifically mention 1,400 officers vacancy, 400, 600 general, 300 agri, 300 BTech civil. These are the two specific criteria they are saying, agri and civil engineers. Why? Because these are the two areas wherein large amount of money is being given as loans. Agriculture as well as infrastructure industry. Earlier, what banks used to do is, suppose I want to construct a building, I need to give a quotation, they will take it, none of the bank people are good in this, so what they do, they send it to an engineer who is associated with the branch. We need to pay an additional 1,000, 1,200 or 500 depending on the amount we have asked for. Right? Per file we need to pay that, or the bank pays. It's a time consuming job. Also, in certain cases, if the bank is paying that, it's a loss for the bank. Now, what the banks have decided over the last 5-7 years is that they are taking specialists from engineering and agri so that the same officer has to study this, no expense for the bank. Not time consuming, he will do it by evening or by the next day. So that is why they are taking more and more agri and civil engineers in the banking sector. So agri has got one such option also. I don't know about Karnataka, but there is one particular, only one MBA college in Kerala, only one, which has got a specialization of agri-business management. In almost all places, it is your marketing or HR or finance or logistics or supply chain, for hospital administration, etc. Only this particular college has got an agri-business management. It is just 2.5 kilometers from my residence. It's in Thrissur. It's inside the campus of Kerala Agriculture University. There's an MBA college. And it's the only college which has got agri-business. She's nodding her head. She knows it. Why? And you know, the campus placement there till 2020, I know. After that, I don't know, because I visit there almost every year when they conduct management fest. And for the stress round of interviewing the best manager, we go there as judges to harass the students. or rather, put them into pressure. I wouldn't say harass, to put them into pressure. Anyway, there, till 2020, the placement average is 90 to 92%. Directly from the college they are getting placed. And you know who comes there? One is the scheduled banks which are from Kerala, like South Indian Bank, Catholic Bank, Dhanlakshmi Bank, Federal Bank, ISAF Bank, etc. Other are the big corporates like Godrej who are into agro-related businesses. They come there, they pick you. You know the advantage of a campus interview? You don't have any competition because they are willing to take 8 to 10 people. So all they do is you clear the benchmark, they take. They wouldn't say we are going to take only 2. If they don't get from this college, they go to the other college. If they get from this college, they are happy. That's the wonderful aspect of career placement. You get n number of opportunities and easy to get placed. Clear? So it is happening. It will be in Karnataka also, I'm sure. In more and more colleges are going to come up with this agri-business management MBA programs. Right? So that is one more good aspect of agri. Clear? So agri is over. Somebody told of nursing. Who was that third? Yeah. Now how many of you sitting over here are thinking of seriously pursuing a BSc nursing program? Nobody. As expected. they feel they have made the right choice. Well, Kerala, Thrissur, yes. If I am to speak the same thing in Thrissur, I wouldn't see any of them children raising their hand. But if the same class is being held in districts like Kottayam, Idukki, Pathanamthitta, etc. in Kerala, most of the girls and few of the boys will also raise their hand. And believe me, my dear children, one particular revenue which is being coming into Kerala is through the nurses who are working abroad. We had COVID in 2020, right? India is the only country with 2 vaccines, isn't it? India is the only country which came with 2 vaccines. But that was the second news about India's recognition. The first news came from countries like Italy, Spain, France, etc. at the beginning, saying that healthcare workers from India are doing excellent service here. Particularly so the nurses from Kerala. Understand, you do not value the importance of nursing. I am not saying go for nursing, understand. I'll give you an answer. How many of you are thinking of pursuing a career in the armed forces? Nursing is a shortcut. Nursing is a shortcut, I'll tell you why. Look, I did my +2, that's my pre-degree in the year, I completed it in the year 1992. Clear? Our classmates, we are all connected now in WhatsApp group. We have got groups now, past students. There is one particular girl called Sangeeta. She was Sangeeta Joseph those days. Now she is Sangeeta something. Now it's her husband's name. Earlier it was her father's name. Something. I don't remember that. What's her present name? Sangeeta Joseph I remember. Right? She did diploma nursing. Not GNM. I am talking of GNM to you people. That is BSc nursing. She did general nursing. She joined the armed force. We were communicating. Then one fine day she told, for the next 2 years I am taking a break. I will not be in the WhatsApp group. Why? Because I want to pursue BSc nursing lateral entry. And you know what is lateral entry? Lateral entry is where you can pursue the degree program after the diploma program. Yes, you need not study APF for all the papers because some you have studied there. So if there are 20 papers for the other students, for the diploma holders, it will be only 10 to 12 papers. It is there for engineering also. You finish your poly and you can enter lateral entry engineering. Clear? She went for that. We were surprised. Then after that, she came back and informed, it's back, I have passed. I am glad to inform you that I have become a Lieutenant General. Lieutenant General. At the age of, it was 2 years back, at the age of 46. That's the highest a nurse can get, not about that, it's over. She is now Lieutenant General in the Indian Army, she is at Delhi. And we wanted her to post a photo. She posted a photo in the uniform with all those medals and all those things. It was something just, look, we felt very proud of one of our classmates. Look, we can earn money. We can earn respect. We can earn lecturing with the money. But that is something we cannot earn with our money. That recognition which you get in the armed forces is something only a person in that service can get. Clear? Nursing, an option. I just told you I'm not forcing you. Right? It's an option. Now why I am talking of general? Okay, you don't think of armed forces. Earlier I told, it's easy for a veterinary doctor to go abroad. Now I'll tell you it's far more easier for a nurse. Okay, you've got so many hospitals here like St. John's and all those things. Do you think all the Malayali nurses who are working there will stick on the rest of their life? I am sure they won't. They want a good brand to be associated with for 1 or 2 years. Post that, they will fly to Israel or Ireland or UK or Canada or Australia or US. Wherein they will be leading a pretty good, comfortable life with their family. Clear? That's the kind of recognition Indian nurses get. Why? As I told earlier, that part plays. I told you, no? A doctor in US sees only 10 people. Imagine the number of patients in nurses. It is not there in UK. So in 1 week, if an Indian nurse is seeing thousands of people, it might take a lifetime for a nurse in UK to see thousands of patients. So that is why they want our people. Clear? We are one among the best, if not the best, as far as healthcare segment is concerned. Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, whatever. That is why these people are called for by European nations. So nursing is one more option you can think of. And boys, it is one for you also, not for them alone. Why? Because sports medicine is one thing which is gaining huge acceptance nowadays. Earlier it was only Australia which was recognized as a good place. That is why we see all our cricketers or any athletes internationally also, they go to Australia for the rehabilitation purposes. Clear? Everybody. As I told you, we brought up in the age of Sachin Tendulkar. He had something called tennis elbow. He went to Australia for that. Clear? So sports medicine is growing. And the two specific medical people they are looking into are, one is nurses, male nurses, two physiotherapists. Clear? Now you have got a physiotherapist with each of the IPL or ISL team. They spend only few months with the team. They earn what others earn in 2 or 3 years in that particular season. Okay? In Canada, I have a friend, that's another friend of mine, he is working as a physiotherapist in Canada. There they go on call to the patient's house. An elderly person has some sort of ailment, they go there, spend 1 hour, means explaining all the rehabilitation process, they send a bill, gets paid. And girls, physiotherapy is a good option for you people, because even now, in spite of we viewing the Western countries as a very advanced, very modernized society, even now, several of their ladies prefer a female physiotherapist to help them in their ailment, not a male physiotherapist. Clear? So it's a good option for you people also. I just told you, I'm not forcing you, you can think of whatever you want to go for. So that's nursing and physiotherapy. Now somebody mentioned about paramedical. Who was that? Somebody told paramedical, yeah, you. Now paramedical can be broadly classified into, okay, what is paramedical first? We'll tell that. What is paramedical program? Anybody from 10th standard? Emergency. It's not emergency. Emergency department is a casualty department. What is paramedical? Huh? People with disabilities. My goodness. No. Okay, plus 1 students. Trauma. No. Okay, I'll tell you. No issues. It's not your problem. I won't blame you for this. Yeah? Paramedical departments are those departments which help the doctor in the treatment modalities. That is for your X-ray, you go to the radiology department. Right? For your blood test, urine test, etc., you go to the laboratory. Clear? These are all the various paramedical departments. Now, paramedical departments can be divided into 2 things. One, hospital-based, one, even otherwise. Okay? Now, I have given this term. Nobody has given this term. I tell hospital-based, even otherwise. Now, which are the hospital-based? They are, suppose you have done a BSc anesthetic technology, or an operation theatre technology, or an emergency medicine related. For such people, they need a hospital to associate wherein their service is required. You don't go for an anesthetic technology person is opening a clinic, you don't go there. You don't need to go there. Clear? But that person is needed in the operation theatre to assist the anesthesiologist. It is he or she who knows the technical aspect, technological aspect about the machines and all those things. Not the treatment aspect, but the technological aspects. Clear? So that's what the BSc anesthetic technology or an operation theatre technologies do. Now this is where the other one is where you don't need a hospital. For example, your optometry, BSc optometry. They look after, you go to the ophthalmologist, okay, most of them are wearing light needs specs. You go there, they check your eye pressure and all those things, and they are optometrists. Clear? In certain places they are diploma holders, but in good hospitals they are BSc optometrists. Then audiologist, who is an audiologist? Hearing aid. It is not the ENT who provides a hearing aid if you have got an ailment. It is an audiologist who does that. So for that, it is BSc audiology. Then there is something called speech pathology or speech therapy. What is speech therapy? Oh, you have got some sort of speaking ailment or stammering or something like that. It's a speech therapist or a speech pathologist who will help you. Clear? So this is the other. Radiology. That is there to cover the scanning, X-rays, etc. So these are the two broader part of paramedical courses. So which is a good one? I don't know. You can decide. Clear? It's up to you. I just gave you. I will give you one suggestion. Paramedical programs, diploma programs, two are available. Post 10th standard, 6 months diploma programs are available. Post 12th standard, 1 year and 6 months programs are available. I will not suggest any of this. If you are interested, go for a degree program. Do not compromise on a diploma program, because any stream you take, if you go for a diploma program, one day you will repent because you had worked in that particular institution for 15 years, and one fine day you see a person with 5 years experience sitting above you. The only reason being the HR department specified to be on the higher side, that person needs a minimum degree qualification, not a diploma. Then you will repent. It's not only pertaining to paramedical, any company this problem will arise. So try to understand the difference between a diploma and degree. I am not belittling diploma, but for your career sake, minimum degree is essential. Clear? So that's paramedical program. Now, there are other programs like, for example, basic forestry. It's being taught in forest research institutes, etc. Such programs have got limited opportunities, so we are not going to touch those programs. Clear? Now, as far as budget, you just note it down. All the doubts you have got, you just note it down. I'll give you opportunity. Now, what are the conventional degree programs you got? Physics, chemistry, biology opting students. You can go for botany, zoology, physics, or chemistry. Or you can go for environmental science or geology or something like that. Those are the options. You can also go for biotech, biochem, microbiology, etc. I'll suggest one thing. For any of the, specifically for girls, if you are pursuing biotech program, whether it is a engineering biotech or a BSc, MSc biotech, be prepared to travel to any states of India. Because biotech related options you will not find for example in Kerala, you do not find much option for biotech related industries. So a girl studying there needs to be ready to go outside Kerala. Karnataka comparatively better, we have got few biotech related institutes here as compared to Kerala. But even then I would suggest in certain states like Gujarat or Maharashtra, that the options are much higher. You should be ready to go there. The problem is that many a times when the parents listen to this, they say that is not a safe place. Delhi is not a safe place. As if Bangalore is. Right? If any of the states in the country is unsafe, then all the states are unsafe. If any of the states are safe, then all the states are safe. That's what I believe. Right? So you should be able to convince your parents before taking biotech such programs. Look, I will go for this provided you assure me after this you will be allowing me to go anywhere where I get a good job. At that time, don't come with this reason, unsafe. Clear? Right? Okay. So that's biotech, microbiology, biochemistry, etc. This will give a talk later because I need to club it with automobile engineering, aeronautical engineering, etc. The reason are all the same, so we'll talk of it later. Now, physics, chemistry, mathematics. Who are the people? And 10th standard, who intend to go for that? Hey, 11, raise your hand, 11. Good. Now more from this side. Okay. Now what is the professional program you have got? B.Tech. Go on. M.Tech you can't jump like that. It's after it, right? So engineering is the program for you. Now listen, all of you. In 80s, 90s and even in thousands, if you pursue a career, a course, with an aim to work abroad, I would say that's a good decision. Clear? But as of now, if you are thinking of choosing one particular course only with the aim of going abroad, think twice. Because more and more countries have started nationalization. More and more countries have come up with rules that for the lower level, inexperienced job, we are going to put our own people only. Clear? And if that happens, if more and more companies do that, and if you are choosing a course which has got limited options here in India and multiple options abroad, if those countries put the shutter down, you are doomed. So don't do this. I'm not saying don't go abroad, but take a course which has got opportunities in India also. So in case you can't fly, still you get opportunities here. B.Tech, I am specific about that. I'll give you an example. Now earlier several people took chemical engineering or petrochemical related engineering only with the sole aim of flying to Middle East. Now there are two things you should understand. One, nationalization. Two, the dependency on fossil fuels is reducing. That is why you see a country like Saudi Arabia venturing into other areas, IT related, tourism related, etc. They want to be the next Dubai. The reason, they very well know that oil alone will not be enough. Clear? I'm not saying chemical engineers do not have any scope here. They have scope here, but the sole aim of the petrol related, it will be a bad choice because you have seen on the roads electric cars, electric mopeds, and it is increasing. Like some of the Scandinavian countries, who knows, our government will also say one day, those who are purchasing electric cars, they need not pay the road tax. It happened in some of the Scandinavian countries, and as a result, some of the countries have got 70 to 80% of the cars on the road running on electricity, not on the fossil fuels. It will happen. Looking into the environment and the pollution part, this will happen. Clear? So understand. So engineering, if you are thinking, and if you are looking at the scenario in India, there are three streams which I would like you to concentrate. I am not saying other streams are bad or they have got less opportunities. I am saying these three streams, they will be having good number of opportunities within the country in the coming years also. The number one is your conventional mechanical engineering. Conventional engineering. Right? Electrical, mechanical, chemical, civil, etc. are conventional engineering. The other things which has come up now are the new ones. We'll discuss that later. Now, why mechanical engineering? The same question they asked yesterday, I'll ask you people also. Why do you have online classes from 2020 to 2022? COVID-19. Right? Where did it originate? Wuhan, China. Right? You are glad for that? Huh? Yes. Yes, that COVID came? No. I am glad for one aspect that it originated from Wuhan, China, not from Bangalore. Eh? Or not from Kerala. Why? Because since it originated from Wuhan, China, there is every probability that in this year, the next iPhone will be rolled from India, not from China. Right? And not only iPhone, more and more automobile companies are going to start their plants in India. Why? Because all these big chains who have their factories in China are removing those factories, leaving China. They want a safer place. At the same time, they want an economical labor. China, they have cheap labor. India, you don't have cheap labor. We have something called economical labor, wherein our labor is pretty good. But yes, it's a bit more from the Chinese counterparts. But as compared to the European nations or the US, for them it is still economical. So all these factories are going to come up here. And when those factories come, the first people who will be most sought after are the mechanical engineers, either BTech or diploma holders, but we are not talking of diploma, we are talking of BTech alone. Clear? You understand it in the broader aspect. A factory, if it comes here, if it employs 1,000 mechanical engineers, there will be auxiliary units here who are supplying one part, two part, a brush, etc. And there also you need engineers. So it's not 1,000 people, it's around 1,300, 1,400 people who will be employed. That's the way each place develops. Clear? So mechanical engineering, one reason for you people to opt is because India is going to be the hub of production. Sure. There will be a drastic change in the next 5 to 7 years. Second reason. 4 years back, the central government did a thing which has never happened in India. They opened up defense-related aspects to the private sector. So you had Mahindra, you had Tatas, you had the Birlas, you had the Leylands, Ambani's, Reliance, etc., starting to manufacture defense-related armaments as well as vehicles. In fact, 3 years back, 650 armored vehicles from Mahindra, not LLD, from Mahindra were imported by Australia. Now, what is there in it, sir? The catch is that if one country takes our vehicles, that means, or takes some of these things, that means it's good. And if one country takes, in the coming years, more and more countries will be sourcing from us. Why does a small country called Israel is so rich? Yeah, there were several other things agri-related. One major reason is that the defense-related equipments they supply are the best, and almost all the developed nations too, including the India. We take so many things from Israel. So the industry flourishes. Clear? The revenue increases. Similarly, more and more defense sector related production units are going to come up across the country, and that means more job options for the mechanical engineers. Now, don't raise your hand and ask what about automobile engineering. I will talk of that later. Right? I'll talk about that. So that's mechanical engineering. Now the second one, computer science. Note. With AI touching each and every part of our life, it is going to be the crux of the world. What is AI? Yeah. You sit over here and say, Alexa, switch off the mobile. Alexa, switch on the AC. And Alexa does that. Right? And what is inside Alexa? AI. Yeah? You had your grandparents who used to go to the bank ATMs or the treasuries to collect their pensions, and then they go to the nearest grocery shops and buy some edible eatables for the grandchildren and they come back. That was prior to 2020. Post 2020, they look at Swiggy, order it, they pay via their GPay. Right? They look at Amazon, purchase. Right? They pay. We have advanced that much. Banking sector has advanced that much. Almost every part AI has touched our life. And believe me, my dear children, if any of the children is paying less attention to this under the thought that it is only pertaining to AI and technology, it doesn't touch me because I intend to work as a doctor or a chartered accountant, you are wrong. If you need to succeed in future in any profession, you should be understanding a bit about AI. I'll give you an example which I quoted yesterday. There's a software called Dr. Watson in the US which is being used by several lawyers. And if a lawyer is not good in using that, that lawyer will find his bread and butter coming less and less in the coming years. Clear? Sure. We have got doctors sitting in their OP and with the help of robotic technology and AI doing the operations. The robot does that. He applies AI, whereas he sits in his OP department. So a doctor needs to be good in this, a lawyer needs to be good in this. It is going to be there in all aspects. So AI is something you need to understand. Look, I told BTech computer science now. Maybe I will tell something different after 2 years, because as of today you do not have in any college BTech AI alone. It's BTech computer science with AI or AI with data science or something like that. That is because we have seen only the tip of the iceberg as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. But in the coming years, when more and more research will be done, you might be having specifically BTech AI as one of the streams. And that will be a good stream to pursue. Clear? Yeah, one thing is that if you are good in logical thinking, engineering is not your right choice. You should be good in logical thinking. Mathematics, physics, etc. is not something you by heart and know. It's about. Clear? So that's one more area you can think of. Computer science, AI related. Third stream, civil engineering. Why? Because, look, civil engineering in the 80s and 90s, when somebody goes for BTech, civil was the least sought after. People who get low grades, low ranks, they opt for civil. They do not, who do not get for mechanical or electrical or something. Clear? Now, the time has changed because there is a growth in the infrastructure industry across the globe, India in particular. You get so many roads coming up, malls coming up, multiplexes coming up, flyovers coming up, highways coming up, airports and seaports coming up. All these are clear indication that there is a growth in the infrastructure industry, and that is the reason why civil engineers are much sought after. Clear? And I told earlier, when I discussed agriculture, banks are looking at BSc Agri and BSc Civil. So there's an opportunity there also. Clear? So that's civil engineering. And when I say civil, I will not curtail myself to civil alone. Architecture will also be much sought after. BR. What's a BR program? Is it a medical program? It's a medical program?
Bachelor's of Architecture.
I'm not expanding it, I just asked. Is it a medical program? Is it a law program? Is it a management program? Is it an engineering program? Is it an engineering program? No. Sound is very feeble. Is it a medical program? No. Is it a medical program? No. Sound is feeble. Is it a medical program? No. Is it an engineering program? Yes. No. It is not an engineering program. Unlike what we believe, BR is not an engineering program. Actually, it is a designing program. Right? It's designing program. Now understand. How do you get admitted for BTech programs? And that's why IITs. Otherwise, you have got your state entrance also, right? Yeah, you got your state entrance as well as either JEE, main and advanced, right? That is how you get admitted for BTech programs. But if your intention is for architecture, you will be attempting one more test. You should be attempting that test along with the state entrance. And that test is NATA. It's your aptitude testing test. Even for IIT, understand, if your intention is for BTech, your JEE main and JEE advanced is enough. But if you want to pursue architecture there, this will not be sufficient. You need to write another test called AAT, which is Architectural Aptitude Test. Clear? So what is the test? They do not test your physics, they do not test your mathematics. It's your aptitude which is being, the questions are all pertaining to your aptitude only. The same is for B design as well as BR. Clear? So if you have got an aptitude, sir, which is best, civil or architecture for me, I will not answer, you decide. If you can perceive, conceptualize, visualize things, go for architecture. If you do not have that skill, but you are good in logical thinking and drawing and all those things, mathematics you are good, physics you are good, geometry you are good, go for BTech Civil. Either case it is good. It is not that BRP is above BTech Civil, nothing like that. Don't go for that misconception. Those two are different. This is engineering, this is designing. So, yeah, that is designing. Those are not the same. So don't compare. In several places I have seen, look, that day is a BR guy, this day is just BTech. You can't say that. BTech Civil and BR are two different streams. Do not compare. So based on your aptitude, you decide which is the one you should pursue. Clear? So that's engineering. Now I told earlier, economics was one subject which was underrated in India. Now I will tell you another subject which is very much underrated in India. Now what are the conventional programs which a physics, chemistry, maths of the student goes? It's either your BSc Physics, BSc Chemistry or BSc Mathematics. The underrated subject is statistics. Only very few takers for statistics because people do not understand if you ask me. Look, an MSc Stati person has got much better and more job opportunities than a MSc Mathematics person. So leave alone the teaching part. For that, MSc Maths is good. If you leave alone that, generally speaking, a Stati person has got more opportunities, much more than an MBA person. Because it is the statisticians who conduct each and every survey, who does the surveys for each companies, for each agencies, for the government. It is they who come up with these studies. Look, it is going to be like this, it is going to be like this, future is like this, the trend is like this, etc. In the financial departments, everywhere, that much scope Stati has got. So MSc Stati, BSc MSc Stati is a good option. You can think of, if you want to know what is Stati, it's your mathematics, your mean, median, mode, standard deviation, etc. That part is known as statistics. Clear? Now mathematics narrowed down Stati. Now it has even narrowed down, and that, what is that? Anybody?
Probability.
No. Who knows that? Data science? Yeah, get up. What's your name? A hand for him. Thank you. Yes. Data science in some places and data analytics in certain universities. Both are more or less the same. It's a futuristic program. It is going to be one of the most sought after programs in the coming years. In fact, in the last 2 years, people going to US for higher studies, more and more people are going to pursue data science. It is going to be a trend-setting program, data science or data analytics. I'll give you another example. Now, one of the most famous universities in Kerala is KUSAT, Cochin University of Science and Technology. The campus drive is excellent. Now, last year, 2022, it was in March. This year, after this we'll give a break. 2022, it was in March, and this year it will be in February. They had called me. They conduct each year 5-day workshop for their third semester students for their employability scheme. 5-day workshops. So I used to visit there one day. 5 days, 5 different faculties. Last year when I went, I was surprised to see that it's a bachelor's program on data analytics. Understand? It's only a bachelor's program, degree program. And last year I was surprised because there were 2 BTech students there. Finished BTech and still enrolled for a degree program, not a PG program. Right? During the lunch time, I discussed with the principal this particular aspect. So he told me a very interesting aspect. He told me, sir, in the college in which they was doing BTech, the campus placement was less than 20%. COVID period. Here, in spite of COVID, last year we had about 89% students placed, and our minimum salary was 3.2 lakh per annum. Minimum salary. Right? Hence, they came here and they have enrolled us. I'm just saying to you, data science, data analytics is a good subject. With one more point, we will conclude.